The planet Kalara was dying. Jagged mountains cut through the stormy skies, and fierce winds whipped dust and sand across the barren plains. Water was scarce, crops barely survived, and the human colonies clung to life like fragile sparks in the darkness. For decades, humanity had called out to the stars. SOS messages were sent to countless alien civilizations begging for help, guidance, and resources. But none came. Some ignored the calls. Others claimed humans were insignificant, not worth the effort. Humanity had been abandoned by the galaxy. Commander Jaren stood on the edge of a cliff overlooking the main settlement. His eyes scanned the endless plains, the collapsed shelters, and the colonists struggling to carry water through the dust storms. He held a small transmitter, capable of sending one last SOS beyond the galaxy. "If no one answers, we survive alone," he muttered. Around him, engineers repaired shelters, soldiers patrolled the cliffs, and children huddled in underground bunkers, unaware of how desperate their situation had become. With a deep breath, Jaren activated the transmitter. A pulse of energy shot into the dark sky, carrying humanity's coordinates, planetary data, and a record of their struggles. It was a final plea. Help or be left behind. For hours, nothing happened. Silence stretched across the barren landscape. Humans watched the skies, hearts heavy with fear and hope. Their calls into the void seemed doomed to disappear forever. Then, sensors aboard Kalara's orbiting satellites detected something unusual. A massive energy signature appeared in the distance, moving faster than any known ship. The readings were unfamiliar, alien, and enormous. "Sir, we're detecting something," said a young officer. Jaren squinted at the monitor. "What is it?" "We don't know. It's huge, and it's heading straight for us." The colonists gathered around the communication tower, shielding their eyes as shadows appeared on the horizon. The massive shapes descended through Kalara's thin atmosphere, their outlines dark and jagged, glowing with eerie blue-green energy. It was the Deathworlder fleet, legendary survivors of the deadliest planets in the galaxy. Known for their strength, cunning, and alien ways, the Deathworlders were feared by civilizations across countless star systems. Most avoided them entirely. And yet here they were, a hush fell over the colony. Humans had not expected anyone to answer their SOS, certainly not these aliens. "Are they coming to help? Or destroy us?" whispered one soldier. Jaren shook his head. "We'll find out. But we must stay ready." One massive Deathworlder ship broke from the formation, descending toward the main settlement. Dust and debris swirled as it landed, sending tremors through the cliffs. Humans froze in awe and fear, staring at the enormous alien craft. From the ship's hatch, a figure emerged. Towering, armored, and alien, its body pulsed with glowing energy lines that traced strange patterns across its dark skin. Its eyes, or something like eyes, looked down at the humans with an unreadable expression. "We detected your distress," a deep, resonant voice echoed through the translator. "Many ignored your calls. We have come to see." The humans exchanged nervous glances. For centuries, they had been alone. Now beings who had wanted nothing to do with humanity were here, hovering above them. "Prepare a welcoming team," Jaren ordered. "And stay cautious. We do not know their intentions." The Deathworlder stepped closer, scanning the colony. Its gaze was heavy, intelligent, and calculating. "We observe survival," it continued. "Few species endure what you have endured, that is notable." Humans whispered among themselves. Could these aliens be their saviors? Or were they a threat more dangerous than anything Kalara had ever produced? Night fell. The storms quieted, leaving a tense calm over Kalara. The colonists lit small fires in the plazas, watching the glowing Deathworlder ship above. Its pulsing energy reflected across the mountains, a reminder of how small and fragile humanity truly was.
"They've noticed us," Lyra whispered, standing beside Jaren, "but—"
"Why? They are survivors," Jaren said. "Like us, perhaps they see something worth saving. Or perhaps they are deciding if we are worthy at all." The Deathworlder fleet hovered silently in orbit. Humanity had sent a message into the galaxy, a final SOS born of desperation. And for the first time in centuries, someone had responded. Not with indifference, not with judgment, but with presence. The humans on Kalara stared up at the sky, hearts pounding. They had been ignored for centuries. But now the Deathworlders had arrived. They wanted nothing to do with humans. Yet they had come. And humanity's fate hung in the balance. The first night after the Deathworlder fleet arrived, The humans on Kalara could hardly sleep. Fires burned across the settlement, casting flickering shadows on the jagged cliffs. The colossal alien ships hovered silently above, their glowing lines pulsing like a heartbeat across the dark sky. Commander Jaren stood on the edge of a cliff with his second-in-command, watching the fleet. "They're not moving," he said. "Just observing." "Do you think they will attack?" the officer asked nervously. "I don't know," Jaren replied. "But whatever they plan, we need to be ready." Humans had survived storms, predators, and scarce resources, but now an alien race known for thriving on deadliest worlds was watching every move they made. The colonists were small, fragile, and untested against beings like these. Yet strangely, they did not attack. In orbit, the Deathworlders deployed drones that circled the settlements, scanning every structure, every machine, and every human. Their glowing eyes recorded not only the humans' survival skills, but also their interactions, how they helped one another, how they solved problems, and how they handled fear. "They are curious," a Deathworlder murmured through the translator. "Most species would panic or collapse under this observation. They endure." Humans continued their daily routines, unaware at first of the depth of the observation. Engineers repaired wind-damaged shelters, children played cautiously near their bunkers, and soldiers patrolled the cliffs. But soon they noticed the strange hovering drones, their glowing lights reflecting in the dust storms. Suspense filled the air. Who were these aliens and why were they here? The Deathworlders were not there to offer charity. They introduced subtle tests of resilience. A controlled sandstorm appeared near one settlement, stronger than normal. Humans had to secure structures, protect supplies, and keep the colonists safe. Their solutions were monitored closely. "They adapt quickly," one Deathworlder noted. "Few species survive under such pressure. Yet they innovate, clever." Elsewhere, the aliens created a simulated predator scenario. Artificial beasts stalked human patrols in the cliffs. Humans improvised, using traps, teamwork, and tactical maneuvers to survive. Each success impressed the Deathworlders, while each mistake was recorded not for punishment, but for understanding. Inside the command center, Lyra, a young engineer, stared at the displays, tracking the drones and the mysterious tests. "They want to see how we handle danger," she said. "Not just survive, but prove we can adapt." "Exactly," Jaren replied. "This is a trial. We must act as if every move matters because it does." Suspense rose as the humans realized their every action was watched. Even their conversations, their strategies, and their emotions were recorded. The Deathworlders' gaze was penetrating, silent and unrelenting. Over the following days, humans learned to work in new ways. They coordinated more efficiently, adapted their tactics, and even predicted some of the Deathworlders' movements. Their courage grew, and so did their hope. They were no longer just surviving. They were being tested for something greater. "They are teaching us without speaking," Lyra whispered. "Every challenge is a lesson. Every test. A way to see who we really are." Jaren nodded. "We've survived Kalara for decades. This is just another test. But this time, someone is watching who could change everything for us." Tension escalated when a massive storm approached the colony, larger than any before. The Deathworlders remained in orbit, observing but not intervening. Humans had to act fast, securing supplies, protecting shelters, and saving children from collapsing structures. Every decision mattered. By the storm's end, the colony had survived with minimal casualties. The Deathworlders' drones recorded their every move, and the aliens themselves sent a message through the translator. Humanity endures. They are stronger than anticipated. Further observation is required, but potential is notable. The colonists breathed a collective sigh of relief. They had survived Kalara's worst and the judgment of a legendary alien race. Suspense lingered. This was only the beginning. The Deathworlders were still watching, still evaluating, and the humans knew the true challenge lay ahead. They had been ignored for centuries. Yet now, beings who wanted nothing to do with humans had arrived, and humanity's fate would be decided under their watchful eyes. The morning sun barely pierced the thick, dusty clouds over Kalara. The colony stirred, humans moving cautiously through the battered settlements. The Deathworlder fleet remained in orbit, massive and silent, their glowing energy lines pulsing in slow, deliberate rhythms. Commander Jaren addressed his officers and engineers. "Every action is being observed," he said. "We survive together or we fail together. Keep your wits. Stay sharp. The Deathworlders were no longer simply watching, they were testing humanity. Their first trial was subtle but dangerous. They released controlled wildlife predators into a nearby canyon, challenging the humans to survive while keeping the creatures contained. Soldiers and engineers scrambled. They used makeshift traps, smoke screens, and clever tactics to guide the predators into containment zones. Every movement was monitored by hovering alien drones. "Move to the ridge! Trap them in the canyon," Jaren shouted. The predators lunged, claws tearing through rocks, but the humans stayed calm, their training and courage guiding them. By the end of the trial, every predator was secured. The Deathworlders' lines pulsed with energy, a sign of acknowledgement, not threat. The next test was intelligence under pressure. Humans were led to ancient alien ruins scattered across Kalara. The ruins contained puzzles and mechanisms designed to challenge problem-solving abilities. Energy barriers blocked paths, and only careful observation and reasoning could open doors. Lyra led a team, analyzing alien symbols and activating mechanisms in precise sequences. Hours passed, with the humans failing, retrying, and adjusting. Their creativity and teamwork impressed the Deathworlders. "They think differently than expected," an observer said. "Their problem-solving is unpredictable and effective." Fascinating. Meanwhile, colonists repaired shelters, rationed supplies, and coordinated logistics under constant observation. Every success and failure fed the Deathworlders' understanding of human potential. The third trial tested teamwork and leadership under extreme stress. Simulated storms, collapsing structures, and sudden predator attacks created high-pressure situations. Humans had to coordinate in real time to save lives, stabilize buildings, and protect resources. Jaren directed operations like a seasoned general, while Lyra and other leaders managed squads. They rescued trapped colonists, deflected attacks, and navigated dangerous terrain. "Keep moving! Protect the civilians!" Jaren shouted as debris fell around them. Humans worked together flawlessly, proving that they were not just survivors. They were adaptable, intelligent, and courageous. The Deathworlders silently recorded every move. Their glowing lines flickered with what seemed like approval. For the first time, they spoke to the humans directly. "You endure what few species could. Your courage is rare. Your intelligence, promising. Your unity, impressive." Despite the praise, the Deathworlders issued a warning. "These trials are not the end. They are the beginning. Your survival alone is not enough. The galaxy is vast, and danger approaches from beyond your world." Humans understood immediately. The trials were not just for assessment, they were preparation. The galaxy would soon take notice of humanity's survival, and not all attention would be friendly. "We've survived storms, predators, and starvation," Lyra whispered. "Now we face something bigger than Kalara itself." Jaren nodded, his eyes fixed on the massive alien fleet above. "This is the first step. We must continue to grow, to learn, and to prepare. If we fail, Kalara will not forgive us." That night, humans gathered around campfires. The sky was dark, illuminated only by the glowing alien ships above. Every colonist felt a mix of awe, fear, and hope. The Deathworlders had arrived, beings who wanted nothing to do with humans, but now they were testing them. They were ignored for centuries, but now they were under watch, and every move could shape humanity's future among the stars. The sky over Kalara was clear for the first time in weeks. The humans had passed the Deathworlders' trials, surviving predator simulations, solving ancient puzzles, and proving courage under pressure. Their skills, ingenuity, and unity had impressed the aliens. Commander Jaren walked through the main plaza, where colonists repaired shelters and tested defensive equipment. Children peered at the massive alien ships overhead, their glowing lines casting eerie shadows on the ground. "We did it," whispered Lyra. "They've finally recognized us. Not as weak, but as survivors." The lead Deathworlder descended to the colony in a smaller shuttle. Its massive, glowing form hovered over the humans, radiating silent authority. "Humanity endures," it said through the translator. "Your courage, intelligence, and unity have been noted. You have proven potential. We will stand with you, but you must continue to grow." The humans stared, a mix of awe and relief washing over them. The Deathworlders were offering guidance, technology, and protection, a partnership that could change humanity's future forever. In the following days, the alliance began. Humans worked alongside Deathworlders to reinforce the colony's defenses. Energy shields hummed around settlements. Advanced turrets were deployed on cliffs and new vehicles capable of rapid response were constructed. The aliens shared survival techniques from their deadliest planets, teaching humans how to endure storms, predators, and hostile conditions with greater efficiency. Soldiers trained with alien instructors, learning fleet maneuvers, combat strategies, and coordination tactics. Engineers adapted Deathworlder technology into human tools, improving communication networks, energy systems, and transport vehicles. They are fast learners, one Deathworlder observed. They adapt quickly. Their courage is rare, their ingenuity promising. Humans began to understand that they were no longer just survivors. They were becoming worthy allies in the galaxy. But the Deathworlders also issued warnings. The galaxy had been watching, and many civilizations would react to this unexpected alliance. Some might seek trade or friendship, but others could become hostile. You are no longer alone, the lead Deathworlder said. But attention brings danger. You must defend your home, your people, and your species. Strength and strategy are your allies now. Suspense rippled through the colony. The humans knew that their trials had only prepared them for Kaelara. Beyond their planet lay the stars, and with them unknown threats. We've survived Kaelara for decades, Jaren said to his officers. Now, we must survive the galaxy. Tensions rose when the first reports arrived. Alien scouts from distant civilizations were approaching the system. Their intentions were unclear. Some were curious, observing quietly. Others appeared armed and aggressive. We may not have to fight immediately, Lyra said, studying the readings. But we must be ready. Every mistake could be costly, Jaren nodded. The humans prepared the colony for potential attack. Energy shields were tested, turrets loaded, and human and Deathworlder teams drilled on emergency protocols. Every colonist understood the stakes. Survival meant not just defending Kaelara, but proving humanity's place in the galaxy. Despite the tension, morale improved. Humans now had allies, technology, and knowledge previously unimaginable. The Deathworlders had recognized them, taught them, and shared the first seeds of hope for a future among the stars. They wanted nothing to do with us, Lyra said softly. Yet here they are, watching, teaching, standing with us. We can survive, maybe even thrive. Night fell and the colony gathered under the glowing Deathworlder fleet. The aliens pulsed gently above, a reminder that humanity was no longer alone. But the humans also realized that survival had only just begun. Their courage, unity, and resourcefulness would soon be tested, not by the planet but by the galaxy. They were ignored for centuries. Now the Deathworlders had arrived, and the universe was watching humanity rise. The human colony on Kaelara had never been so busy. Engineers worked alongside Deathworlders to reinforce shelters, upgrade energy shields, and improve defensive turrets. Soldiers trained day and night, practicing new strategies learned from their alien allies. Even children helped by learning drills and safety measures, their eyes wide with awe at the glowing ships above. Commander Jaren surveyed the activity from the cliff edge. The colony was alive with hope and purpose, but that hope came with danger. We've attracted attention, he told Lyra and the senior officers. Not all eyes on Kaelara are friendly. Indeed, as sensors scanned the skies beyond Kaelara, reports came in from orbiting satellites. Fleets from distant civilizations were moving toward the system. Some were curious, others were hostile. Word of humanity's alliance with the legendary Deathworlders had spread quickly across the stars. They see us as a threat, Lyra said, her voice tense. Or maybe they see us as prey. The Deathworlders convened in orbit. Their massive forms hovered above Kaelara, pulsing energy as they communicated in low tones. Your presence has disrupted the balance, the lead Deathworlder said through the translator. Many civilizations will test you. Some will attack. You must be ready, Jaren nodded. The humans had survived Kaelara's harsh environment, but they were about to face threats unlike anything they had known. The galaxy was vast, and survival would require courage, strategy, and unity. The first signs of the approaching fleets appeared as small, fast ships probing Kaelara's atmosphere. They scanned the colony, firing harmless warning shots to gauge the humans' defenses. Soldiers and engineers worked together, activating energy shields and targeting systems with precision learned from their Deathworlder allies. Do not panic, Jaren ordered. We respond, not overreact. Every move matters, the humans responded quickly. Pilots launched defensive crafts, Soldiers coordinated ground maneuvers and engineers monitored shield integrity. The alien scouts were surprised by humanity's coordination and bravery. They learned faster than expected, a Deathworlder observer murmured.
Their ingenuity is
unusual. The first skirmishes were brief but tense. The humans had proven capable under pressure, impressing the Deathworlders further. But these were only probes. Larger fleets were on the way. As days passed, Kelara's sensors detected hundreds of ships moving through hyperspace lanes, converging toward the colony. The scale of the threat became clear. Multiple civilizations had united to test or destroy humanity before it could become a galactic player. We are not just defending Kelara, Jaren told the colony leaders. We are proving humanity's place in the stars. Fail and we will be erased. Succeed, and the galaxy will never forget us. Training intensified. Humans piloted advanced Deathworlder ships, coordinated defensive strikes, and drilled emergency evacuations. Engineers integrated alien technology into ground defenses, improving shields and creating rapid response vehicles. The colony transformed into a fortress ready for war. They are preparing, Lyra said, studying sensor reports. The galaxy wants to test us, and they won't hold back. Tension reached its peak when the massive enemy fleets appeared on the horizon, dark silhouettes against the glowing skies. Hundreds of ships armed and ready moved with precision, targeting Kelara. Humans held their ground, adrenaline coursing through every soldier, engineer, and pilot. This is it, Jaren said, gripping the railing. Our first true test against the galaxy. The Deathworlders activated energy shields around the colony and prepared their orbital ships. Humans took their positions. Every turret, every fleet, every soldier would be needed to survive the approaching storm. For centuries, humanity had been ignored. Now the galaxy had noticed, and it would test them to the limit. Dawn broke over Kelara, illuminating a colony braced for war. Energy shields shimmered over settlements. Turrets lined the cliffs, and human and Deathworlder fleets hovered in coordinated formation. The horizon was filled with hundreds of enemy ships, moving with precision and intent. Commander Jaren stood at the command center, eyes scanning the approaching armada. Today we fight not just for Kelara, but for humanity's place in the galaxy, he said, voice steady. Remember your training. Stick together. We survive together, or we fall together. The Deathworlders' massive ships glowed with pulsing energy. They had survived dead worlds, endured cosmic storms, and battled the galaxy's fiercest predators. Their presence was both reassurance and reminder. Humanity was no longer alone. But the stakes had never been higher. The first wave of enemy craft tore through Kelara's atmosphere. Small, fast ships meant to probe defenses and weaken morale. Pilots launched from the colony, intercepting them with agility and precision. Energy shields flared as weapons collided, sending sparks and plasma arcs across the sky. Hold formation, Jaren shouted. Do not let them break through. Humans moved with unexpected skill, coordinating with Deathworlder ships. Turrets fired with deadly accuracy, intercepting missiles and disabling enemy craft before they reached the settlements. Engineers monitored energy shields, rerouting power to stressed sectors. They fight like seasoned warriors, one Deathworlder observer said. Adaptation under fire, impressive for a species once ignored. The enemy escalated, sending massive cruisers with energy disruptors and boarding drones. Kelara's ground shook with explosions. Smoke and dust clouded the valley as humans and Deathworlders worked together to repel attacks. We won't fall today, Lyra shouted, guiding squads through collapsing structures. Keep civilians safe. Cover each other. Teams rescued trapped colonists, stabilized collapsing shelters, and neutralized incoming threats. Every human demonstrated courage, ingenuity, and leadership. The Deathworlders silently recorded each move, their approval clear in the pulsing glow along their hulls. They are worthy, the lead Deathworlder murmured. They survived not by luck, but by strength, intelligence, and unity. The battle raged for hours. Explosions lit the sky. Energy beams carved trails through clouds, and the ground trembled under the force of the combat. Slowly, the enemy fleet began to falter. Their attacks became disorganized. Confusion spread among the coalition ships. They had underestimated humans and their formidable alien allies. Fall back! We cannot predict them, an enemy commander shouted. With one final coordinated maneuver, human pilots and Deathworlder ships struck in unison, forcing the enemy fleet to retreat across hyperspace lanes. Kailara was safe, for now. When the dust settled, humans gathered at the command center. Faces were covered in soot and sweat, hearts still pounding, but the colony had survived. Humans had fought alongside legendary aliens and had proven themselves to the galaxy. "We did it," Lyra whispered, gazing at the horizon. "They won't ignore us again." Jaren's eyes rested on the star-filled sky. "This victory is not the end. The galaxy now knows humans exist and that we are not weak." The Deathworlders pulsed gently in orbit, a silent acknowledgement of humanity's courage. They had tested the humans, and the humans had risen to the challenge. They had been ignored for centuries. But now the universe had seen humanity fight, and it would remember them. As Kailara's skies cleared, humans began repairs and preparations for the future. The lessons learned during the battle, strategy, teamwork, and courage would guide them. The Deathworlders offered guidance, but humanity knew the next threat could be even greater. "We survived the first trial by fire," Jaren said quietly to Lyra. "The galaxy is vast, but we will survive again, and we will rise." Night fell over the battered colony, and the Deathworlder fleet glowed softly above. Humanity had survived a day that could have ended it all. Their courage, ingenuity, and unity had proven their worth to the galaxy. They were no longer ignored. Humanity had arrived. The sun rose over Kalara, bathing the colony in golden light. The sky was clear, the storms having passed, leaving a calm that felt almost unreal after the chaos of the first battle. The humans moved through the settlement with purpose, repairing, reinforcing, and learning from every lesson the Deathworlders had taught. Commander Jaren stood atop the cliff, surveying the thriving colony. Energy shields shimmered over buildings, turrets hummed with power, and Deathworlder instructors oversaw training drills. Humanity had survived Kailara's harshest storms, and now the first true test against the galaxy. "We did not just survive," Jaren said quietly to Lyra. "We have proven ourselves. The galaxy will no longer ignore us." Children played near defensive barricades, soldiers practiced coordinated maneuvers, and engineers upgraded vehicles and energy systems. Every human, from the youngest to the oldest, had a role to play in this new chapter of survival and growth. The lead Deathworlder descended in its smaller shuttle, hovering over the main plaza. Its glowing energy lines reflected in the awe-filled eyes of the colonists. "Humanity endures," the alien said. "You have shown courage, intelligence, and unity. You are no longer insignificant. Your survival has earned our respect and our protection," humans whispered among themselves. For centuries, their species had been ignored, dismissed, and underestimated. And now the very beings who had once wanted nothing to do with them had arrived and recognized their worth. "We are not alone," Lyra said softly.
"And we are ready."
"For whatever comes next." Weeks passed and Kalara transformed. Humans integrated Deathworlder technology into daily life. Energy shields expanded to protect farms and settlements. Defensive turrets became automated, and fleets of small human crafts trained alongside alien ships. Every day, humanity grew stronger, smarter, and more confident. "They learn fast," a Deathworlder observer noted. "They adapt. They endure. They fight with courage. Rare traits in any species." Humans also began to scan the galaxy, learning about nearby civilizations, some hostile, some indifferent, and a few curious. The universe had finally noticed them, and humanity would need to defend itself in ways they had never imagined. One evening, the colonists gathered on the cliffs to watch the Deathworlder fleet glow against the star-filled sky. It was a silent, awe-inspiring presence, a reminder of survival, courage, and the allies they had earned. "They wanted nothing to do with us," Lyra whispered. "Yet they came, and now they stand with us." Jaren placed a hand on her shoulder. "This is only the beginning. The galaxy may challenge us again, but now we know we can face it. Together." The Deathworlders remained in orbit, their glowing forms a protective shield and a symbol of the alliance humanity had forged. Humans had not only survived their planet, they had survived judgment and battle, and they had earned their place among the stars. They had been ignored for centuries. They had been tested by the universe itself, and now humanity would be remembered not for weakness but for courage, unity, and survival. The colony thrived. Humans trained their children, taught the next generation to be resilient and brave. Engineers prepared new starships, scouts explored nearby systems, and soldiers drilled for defense. Humanity was no longer small or helpless. They were a species rising among the stars. The galaxy will know us, Jaren said. Not as prey, not as the weak, but as humans who endure, who fight, who rise. Night fell over Kalara. The stars sparkled. The Deathworlder fleet glowed above, and humans gazed upward, dreaming of a future filled with challenge, courage, and opportunity. They were once ignored. They were once abandoned. But now humanity had allies, strength, and a legacy that would echo across the galaxy. The planet was safe, the colony alive, and humanity unstoppable.